Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Tennova Healthcare. The weather is kind of nasty, and depending on what part of East Tennessee you're in this weekend, if you find yourself in need of medical attention due to a slip, a slide, or a fall, do what I did when a fall tore my quad. Trust Tennova's emergency care. Tennova Healthcare. It's who I turn to. It's who my family turns to. Tennova.com is where you can learn more about Tennova Healthcare. All right. And when we want to know more about individual Tennessee basketball players, we turn to Mark Pancratz. And Mark, I wanted to chat with you about scouting reports. Last week you did a scouting report on the team. I gave you kind of a homework assignment. Could you, if you're an opposing coach, how would you break down 3 top Vols? And we will start with your breakdown of Kevin Punter.
Yeah, first and foremost, you got to get guys ready to play the opponents, because they're all wired in what ESPN's showing, and everybody's talking about the Kentuckys and the LSUs and the Ben Simmons. Kevin Punter, to me, is the most valuable player in the SEC. Everyone talks about Ben Simmons, but you look at the rest of the LSU roster, they have 3, 4, 5 different guys that are 4 or 5-star guys. Kevin Punter right now is leading the league in scoring. He's playing the most minutes. Without Kevin Punter on this roster, there's no chance that we'd be where we are. So I would pressure him, make him work. I would deny him the ball. If he gives it up, I'm not letting him get it back. I'm forcing all of his catches off the line, because if he's going to come and get ball screens to get to that pull-up jump shot, now he's shooting pull-up threes instead of pull-up 2-pointers. And I would make him cover. I would wear him out. I would get him in as much ball screening action as possible. I know he's not guarding the ball handler, but I would find ways to get him to have to cover to wear him down.
All right, very good. Now, the next one on your assignment list was Armani Moore. How would an opposing coach break down Armani Moore?
Got to match his energy, got to match his toughness, because that's what he is. If you look at his stats right now in the SEC, he's only averaging 6 points a game. He's 0 for 9 from 3. He's shooting about 27% from the field goal. So why he's so valuable to this team is because of his energy. Got to match it. He wants the attack going right. He is charge prone, so you can get in front of him taking charge. If I'm Coach Barnes, I tell him to get a charge a game, because to me that shows that he's being aggressive. And then I shot fake him on the defensive side, because he's coming in to fly to block shots. And if you can get any of these guys in foul trouble, your chances of winning go way up.
All right, he's the guy that gets a little out of control. All right, next one, give you Robert Hubbs.
Robert Hubbs is a guy that is tough to figure out. Who would have thought that he'd be a better post player than he is a perimeter player at this point? He's 0 for 6 from 3. He's got no confidence right now shooting the basketball from the outside. He wants to attack the rim. He can post up. He's all left shoulder in the post. But I would attack him and make him guard. He's not a physical kid, but I would close out short on him, make him shoot contested jump shots, play him for the drive, and then attack him on the defensive end.
Very good. A lot of people still wondering, well, that's great scouting reports. I always think that's kind of fascinating. How would a coach view these guys? And for folks at home, they can now sit there and say, well, they did that. They did what Mark said. People are wondering, in terms of Tennessee's basketball recruiting, they've got 5 guys in the next class. The tallest one of them is 6'7". They're still trying to look for a big man. Thoughts on Tennessee recruiting at this point? Anyone who wants to jump in here in terms of finding that big man, that's their number 1 target at this point, remaining, correct?
Got to be.
Has to be.
Got to be. And I hope the recruits that they have that are listed at 6'7", I hope they are 6'7", because we know what Coach Barnes does. Once they come on the roster, they might be 6'5". But yeah, they got to go get a big guy. Have to.
They're in the market for a JUCO big man, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a senior transfer out there at the end of the year.
Certainly need one. All right, guys, thank you very much. Mark, you'll be with us a little bit later in the show. I want to get your take on the week ahead for Tennessee basketball. When we come back, Vol recruiting is up. And we'll also talk about kind of a Ohio State-Tennessee Twitter battle. We'll discuss that. Come on back on the Sports Source.